Halfway through the Saratoga meeting, but we dish every week, not just at landmarks along the way. But we have a lot to celebrate with Paddock Prince having a flat bet profit through the first half of the meet. We'll talk with him on how he will keep it going, how he's kept it going. Grade one races this weekend, and I guess maybe a look back at the Whitney Stakes as well. A lot going on in horse racing. As always, pleased to be joined by the Paddock Prince, David Levitch himself. Mr. Levitch, how's it going?
It's going good. We're halfway through the meet at Saratoga, so I guess I still have halfway left to embarrass myself. But
It
no, it's been a
can,
good meet so far. The weather's holding up. I think we've had one off the turf day in the last couple of weeks still. Everything's going well with the weather. Weather looks to be good this week and next week, so good racing. Big
bring it.
races coming up. Sword Dancer this weekend. Maiden races.
Maidens always a hallmark of the Saratoga meet. And in addition to the sword dancer, the other grade one on the calendar, Arlington Million at Colonial, both turf races. Wish they could figure. Not that it's not like if one were a week earlier or later, you'd get any overlap in horses. So
Well, they moved the Sword Dancer up, and the Sword Dancers had short fields in the past, and they got nine, I think, but I think Grant Sonata's running at Arlington or
he's going
Colonial Million.
Arlington, yeah.
Yeah, so they got seven or eight at least in there. But they moved it up from Traverse Day, which seems to be, I guess they did that to stay away from Kentucky Downs.
Yeah, I mean now you can be in the sword dancer and run a Kentucky down. So
And then come
I guess,
back
I
and
guess
run
in
it
that
for.
regard, they coordinated. Didn't work out for the million, but with the money Kentucky Downs puts up, I guess I get it.
Yeah, that's the not so Arlington Million field.
Well, before we look forward to the stakes this weekend, the Whitney. I mean, I wasn't as bullish as you on Fierceness, although I did see him as the most likely winner, and based on the way the race played out, just wrong on that. I mean, especially with whether you think the rabbits mattered or not, given all that conspired in the race and the entry box or otherwise, Sierra Leone it did set up best for him.
It did set up best for him. The race fell apart. Disarm even came third. I thought the rabbit didn't play a huge role in the pace, but I think he mucked the race up a little bit because the horse didn't really, as we talked about last week on Pace Projector, he was about the eighth slowest horse, the fastest horse in the race, and he broke about middle of the pack,
Yeah, he had to
and
be
they
hustled to get up
to
to
get
the
up there. And
Mount
I
of
thought he
Gold.
just mucked up the race a little bit. Fierceness, I mean, he had no excuse. He made the first move, but if you would have asked me turning for home, he looked like he was going to win by 3 lengths, and
Yeah,
he
I
just hit a
thought so too.
wall. He just hit a wall. The race fell apart. Sierra Leone won. Highland Falls racked up. I thought Highland Falls ran really well, by the way. I don't know if he's good enough to win the Classic, but he is a horse that's probably going to be 25-1 in the Classic, that 20-1, that doesn't seem too far off on ability if something went his way. I mean, that was only his second start of the year, too, coming off a mile prep race. But Sierra Leone was the best horse that day, and it's saw Fierceness is going to keep running. I didn't know what was going to happen after that.
Keep
Sierra
running
Leone,
or still running?
he's still running, but he's going to
He's
keep
also
running.
okay.
He's going to go to the Lucas Classic or the Woodford I saw, and then Sierra Leone's going to the Jockey Gold Cup if he bounces out of that race good. But um, yeah, I thought Sierra Leone was the best horse on the day. Got to set up, but you cannot use a rabbit in the Classic.
Well, you
You got to have
can't bank
14.
on it. You would
Yeah,
need
but
less
don't.
than 14 to
Yeah,
enter.
but it seems like this year there's going to
No.
be a healthy amount of horses in the
But
Classic.
depending on what magnitude does and the Travers, he could be a pace threat in the classic if they go on with him. I would say
Nice.
East Avenue's classic participation probably ended about 70
That
yards
was
into the West Virginia Derby.
that was a rough effort.
Yeah.
That's about as one-dimensional of a horse as you'll find. If he is not on the lead and he's the only thing in front and he can't see anything else, he's good. But if he's not on the lead and he can see other horses, he does not.
No.
He does
I mean,
not
like,
fly.
hat tip to you because I didn't pick up on it. I just kind of thought, oh, if he doesn't break bad, he runs bad. He will not pass horses.
He will not pass horses, and
Yeah,
it's not like Sias didn't try. I think Sias
no,
rode that
he
horse for 6 straight furlongs.
absolutely.
So yeah, the pace in the
Yeah,
classic could Nisos, I guess, could be a speed horse, but I think Sierra Leone, I guess Mind Frame is still at the top of the older horse division, but Sierra Leone, if he won the Jockey Gold Cup over Mind Frame, would seem to pass him. But there's still a lot of time. Fierceness could still come back. He did run well at Del Mar last year, and I will say one thing. I thought the track was really deep and closer favoring on Whitney Day. The maiden race, race 6, completely fell apart. The test absolutely collapsed, and the Whitney fell apart as well for the most part.
Yeah.
The test winner was Stout. It actually benefited with her missing the break because of the way the race played out. You don't want to stumble, but
No.
missing the break helps. So,
Well, and having a jockey that didn't like totally rush up. That's what happened last weekend at Saratoga and Mountaineer. Good to give some love to the smaller tracks. But looking ahead to this weekend, all about the turf. David, Sword Dancer, touched on a little bit. Grade 1 at Saratoga, 3 graded stakes on the turf at Colonial, and actually like a big bomb in one of the races at Colonial. But we'll start with the Sword Dancer. I haven't really looked too closely at it, so I'm going to lean on you. But always a fun one when they get to go a mile and a half, the Breeders' Cup distance.
yeah, Charlie Appleby's back. He sent 2 horses, including Nation's Pride. He sent a horse on the rail that name is escaping right now that Pride is riding. So he hasn't, I don't think he's run a horse in the U.S. this year since Pegasus World Cup weekend, I don't think. So he's back. You got the Bowling Green 1-2 finishers, Farbridge, the top older horse going long on the turf in the U.S. I would lean in that direction. I like him and El Razine. I thought El Razine, if you go back and watch the Bowling Green, El Razine, there's only 4 horses in the race, including him, so that's 3 rivals. He somehow was almost on the dirt course turning for home in a 4-horse race. It was nice of Pletcher to ride Dylan Davis back after that, but I think that horse has a huge chance to upset. This would be second off the layoff. I do not like the Godolphin horses. I guess it's a positive sign that William Buick's coming to ride Nation's Pride, but I'm taking a stand against that horse. His last race in Dubai was terrible, and that's his home track. His Pegasus wasn't good, but the Pegasus, the turf course at Gulfstream, I understand sometimes that horses might not take to that. It's rock firm. It's kind of tight turns. It's goofy. I get it, all that. So whatever, you can forgive him that. I thought he was terrible last time out. I'm going to try to get El Razine home at a price with Farbridge. I think Farbridge is way the horse to beat, though. He's way more tactical now. He's not really an out-the-back rail closer
Yeah,
like
that's a
he
good
used to
point with
be.
him.
He can move towards the pace. He made a middle move in the Bowling Green. He was never losing, but I don't think El Razine is that bad, is that far off beating them, and he's going to be 15-1. So if he gets the right trip, someone done fire, I think he can upset.
That other Pletcher I keep betting that ran at Turfway isn't in here, is he?
Oh no, you talking about Turfway? You talking about Tucson?
Yes.
No, he ran at Gulfstream on the Cincinnati. That horse is now done. He after his 4th place finish in the 4-horse Bowling Green, he is no, he'll probably be at Gulfstream this in the $100,000 synthetic championship at Gulfstream in December.
All right. Well, I I went to the well a few times. The other grade 1 mile and a quarter on the turf is the Arlington Million, which I looked at, and Kentucky Derby winner Mystic Dan shows up for his turf debut. I definitely see Integration is way the horse to beat, but price wise, I could see the other Shug. Integration, he's 8-5 on the line. Lower certainly wouldn't shock me. That could make Fort Washington higher. And Cairo, the international, 100-1 last out, but was within 2 lengths in a Group 1 at Royal Ascot. They always take money. Don't expect him to be anywhere near the right price. So I'm sticking with Shug.
I'm looking at this fair odds, and I could not. This is my first fair odds that I think I agree with you on.
Hey, how about
Mystic
that?
Mystic Dan, that's exactly the odds you can bet him at. Is this the first ever Derby winner to run in the Arlington Million? I don't know the answer to that. He's a money
I
to
should know
take.
the answer to that because when California Chrome was going to run in it, lots
Well,
of
that's the
research
only
was
horse I
done
could
on
think
it.
of that might have done it. Then I remembered he went to the he never ran on. He went to the Del Mar Derby and won that, I think, or the Hollywood Derby, one of those. I think it was the Hollywood Derby, won the Hollywood
Yeah,
Derby.
and
But
he won.
the thing about Cairo is he hasn't won in the last 2 years. So I guess the positive note for him is that he's getting a local rider that's the leading rider. I
That is
like
a
when
good
these
point.
European trainers ship horses in. I mean, I don't know if you watched the Saratoga Derby last weekend, but the rider on the favorite in there, it looked like he had never watched a race at Saratoga before. And I think it's a
No, great
positive
point
sign that
about
Ben
Ben.
Curtis. Yeah, I think it's a good sign that Ben rides him. For Washington, I liked him last time at Churchill. Man, he was not good. I don't know what it
No,
was. I don't know if it was the ship. I don't know what it was. I think Shug's other horse is very much the horse to beat Captain Obvious in here, and I would key him. Grand Sonata is a very cool horse. He doesn't win very often, but he does have 8 seconds. So if I'm betting this race, I would play the 8 with the 6 and 7. I'm not using the 5 in here, and I'm definitely not using Mystic Dan.
not you. Yeah, you can't use Mystic. I mean, because he'll be, what's he on the line? Third choice. I
He
mean,
no, he's nine.
depending on
He's
what.
nine. He's 9-2
Oh,
on the
he's the
line. The
fourth
thing about
choice.
Mystic Dan is too, he wasn't even supposed to run this summer. They work him one time on the turf, and they're like, "Oh, let's throw him in the Arlington Million."
Yeah, it feels like a hustle job.
Well, he did win with Classic Causeway in the Belmont Derby. For remember
True.
and that was the
Chris
worst
Devon
thing.
was in that race too.
Yes, he's still running, and that was the worst thing that ever happened to Classic Causeway because then he went to Europe and his career fell apart. So
Right.
Mystic Dan, I guess it would open up some new. What is he going to be? I was thinking about if he's 9-2 on the line, which is probably a good morning line for him because he's got the Derby win, but he's never run on the turf. But it's not a strong field. It's not like Farbridge is in here, Nation's Pride's. I mean, it's not a
Yeah,
lot.
I mean I mean the thing is like integration is such an obvious favorite. There's no room for, oh, maybe people will default to the Derby winner. And then I do think, and I used to resist this, but I mean just people will bet the international. Now
Oh
he
yeah, he's getting bet.
doesn't have the brand name trainer, so maybe that's not going to be as sexy as if like when Aiden O'Brien comes over, even with a no hoper. But yeah, I mean, I think 9-2. We'll go from one good morning line to a bad one coming up, but I think this. Other than I could see Grand Sonata being a little lower if they end up not betting Cairo or Mystic Dan as much. I think the million line is probably, to me, I would base I'm comfortable playing my bets off it.
Yeah, I think
Planning my bets.
integration's odds on in there. He was very
Odds
unlucky
on
not
that
to win
low.
them. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was very unlucky to not win the Manhattan, to be honest.
I mean, I never want to go odds on in a grade one if I can help it. Part of the reason I was comfortable not going that low was just the dearth of wins. Now he does have a win at Colonial, so that's gonna,
3 for 4.
yeah. So
Second in
people
this race
notice
last
that,
year.
but no, he's the horse to beat. We're not,
Yeah, 100%.
no doubting that. And I would play him at above odds on, and otherwise maybe Fort Washington's the play. Beverly D. I'm going for Gusto here. You could see that even though I have her as the longest shot in terms of I see her as the least likely winner, which I think anyone would agree with. I think Chick Shadow will be better than her price. She's 15-1 on the line, but Beach Bomb is too high. So, figure make her lower, which she should have been. That's my bad. And Chick Shadow is easily 20 or 30-1. I actually think she's worth a bet at that.
I think Beach Bomb is almost as likely to win this race as integration. I Chick
Wow. I
Shadow,
don't
I
agree with
prefer
that.
her. I mean, I don't like Charlene's Dream at all. I don't know about I think Be Your Best on paper. People are going to gravitate to her because of all her wins, but she's really never run that fast of a race. So I don't.
And neither
I
is
mean, she
Beach
can.
Bomb.
Well, Beach Bomb lost by half a length to She Feels Pretty last time out. And I will say one thing about Beach Bomb. She's gotten much better since they put her more forward in these long races. If you look at her first 3 starts in the U.S.,
I,
she wasn't that close to the pace. And now since she's been forward, she's been pretty consistent. And she's going to be sitting probably third in here, second or third.
I like to see the forwardness and, show some versatility and, being amicable to training. I mean, I wrote about this. The pace ratings are so much slower in those races where she has
Oh,
been
yeah.
closer,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's just not going to happen here.
No, Charlene's Dream is going. Be Your Best is sort of quick, but she's not as fast as Charlene's Dream. Charlene's Dream's pretty quick. So she's probably going to be setting the pace, Be Your Best in the pocket, Beach Bomb sitting third, a little off, but forward. But she's a
Yeah.
stayer. She can stay. I don't know if this is going to be the best distance for Be Your Best, but she had a lollipop trip in the was
Well,
it the game link?
when that's your run style, though, if things you run your best race, it looks like a good trip. I mean,
Yeah, but in California, you don't usually expect to get lone leads just kind of walking the dog.
like Deterministic had a dream trip in his race, but at the same time, like that's his trip. So when he gets it,
But would Deterministic have won if the race was the actual distance it was carded for? Because they backed that race up to 9 furlongs that day. But I see what you're saying. He's the best turf horse in America, though. Not a mile or a mile and an eighth.
yeah,
Because
really.
his 4-star day was really good.
Oh, that I mean that was
Yeah.
pushed like
And he can be forward.
completely in hand and then push button. I was impressed, no doubt
Like if
about it.
Carl Spackler was still in the U.S., I would take Deterministic over him because he can
I don't know
be
about that.
forward. Well, Carl Spackler came 8th in the Breeders' Cup last year, so
Yeah,
I
but
saw he got
man,
moved though.
that race at Keeneland in April was pretty stout.
I picked Integration. Was it
I think
Integration?
I did too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm almost positive I did.
He's one of my pets.
In fact, it may have been a tournament day, and that was like, oh, Integration's my horse to win the tournament, so didn't go well. But
There's always another one next year.
all right, well, thanks for not busting my chops too much on Beach Bomb.
You know, I like you, Ed, so I let that morning line slide. That horse is probably going to be, well, I don't know. Be Your Best will probably be close to 2-1. I bet Beach Mom's no higher than 5-2.
Yeah, that was when I went through it, and obviously the computer gives a guide as well. But the first time, like the last grade one winner, I was like, oh, will Be Your Best be bet down even from there. And then the more you look, it's like, nah, she'll probably be around 2-1. And I just didn't. I should have adjusted Beach Bomb.
Well, the horse I don't like in there is Duvet Day, and I think she's 3-1 on the line. I don't think that horse is going to take a lot of money. I think they kind of flip flop.
No. Well, I mean, especially with the. I don't know how much the money follows like the summer Rispoli's had shipping east in some of his rides, but
Are you talking about Johannes? Johannes?
You didn't like the ride?
I don't know who would. I mean, if you have to, if you watch any race at Saratoga on the inner turf, it's a war going into the first turn. If you come out of the gates with no plan, that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
No plan out of the gate.
I think that's a good no plan. Like the
plan.
ride once he was where he was is whatever. Like you're toast at that point.
Well, the thing is too, if that horse just broke kind of slow and low, he kind of broke, and then no plane just gets slammed with no aggression out of the gate, and it was over.
Yeah, better price.
And then everybody on Twitter red boards. Oh, California 9-5. That horse lost in the Breeders' Cup mile last year by half. You know, like
he's a good horse.
He's a very good horse. His trip was impossible.
Yep. No disagreement here.
The summer of Rispoli.
So you doing Colonial Saturday?
I did the late pick 5, full late pick 5 right up. I did not do the first couple races. There were too many random made up stakes races for me to do, so I did the late pick 5. No, it's a good card though.
Flood Zone though.
Huh?
Flood Zone. Got the winner.
Is he running? I didn't even look at the other races. I just looked at only the late pick 5.
Yeah. No, late pick 5's good. So you got Del Mar, Saratoga, late pick 5.
Late pick 5.
All right.
Saratoga.
Can I do the Woodbine $5 pick 3 next week?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Special guest on the sheet. Yeah.
Sweet. All right.
What? So they got fun. They got the Queen's Plate next weekend.
King's Plate. Yeah.
King's Plate. I mean, sorry, King's Plate.
Next week, yeah. Which the Woodbine Mile got moved from September because they're redoing the turf course. So
when is it?
I don't know what milers are left to run in a grade 1 race.
Deterministic.
On 2 weeks rest.
Oh, because they moved it up 2 weeks.
Right.
Was it more than 2 weeks? I guess
it was the week after Labor Day usually.
Yeah, I don't know what milers are left either. Cassie will have 7 horses in the race.
Right. He'll run my boy Prince back for sure.
And win for the money, who actually ran pretty well in the 4-star Dave. But
yeah, I thought if Davis would have committed to going up the rail, it could have been interesting.
I actually picked him in that race. I picked him too. So I was very intrigued.
I mean, it probably wouldn't have beaten Deterministic, but could have been second.
No, but if you're like me and you had a deterministic win for the money, exactly. It would have been nice if he could have just come second.
Would have been good.
Would have been
I
great.
agree.
But
Well, we'll get him this week.
we will.
Al Razim.
El Razine and the Sword Dancer for the upset. 15
All
to
right.
1.
They say he doesn't give picks, but he
And I
gives
just
great
gave out a
insight.
free one.
There you go. Free is for me. All right, back next week. I guess I'll tout my $5 pick 3 in the sheet.
I'm going to write it on my calendar right when we get off this dish.
And Alabama, is that the Saratoga feature?
Yes. Good sheer nitrogen. Scottish Lassie.
Macara.
I don't know if they said yes. Are they going there or the test? Or the no, they skipped the test. Test just ran. I guess they are going there because I would have assumed they might have run her in the test, but that was this past weekend, obviously.
I saw her on the list. So yeah, suddenly that division got competitive. I mean, after the Oaks, it looked like Good Cheer was going to run away with the championship, but
man, we'll talk about it next week.
Not so fast.
She was so bad in
I would actually, it's one of those situations I say it was so bad, it's easier to give a pass.
Yes, a little
Like,
bit.
When they're not good enough, like they run their race and lose, you're like, but I mean, she just didn't run.
Or she ran her best race in the Oaks and horses are catching up to her. There's a lot of interesting
fair odds will tell the story.
We'll talk about it next week, but there's some interesting points. Nitrogen back on the dirt, but a real dirt race. Scottish Lassie in a short field, but ran huge. There's a lot going on in there.
All right. That's quite the tease. You'll have to join us next week. Alabama, Kings Plate, something at Del Mar, probably.
More free picks.
There you go. I like it. He's the Prince. I'm Ed. Good luck, everybody.